Hey everybody, it's Josh from Broken Acre Farm. Up here in the garage, doing some work for on the golf cart. Got some toys for my birthday. One is a light bar that goes on the front. Unbox that real quick. Haven't looked at it. Ooh, fancy. And mounting hardware. Awesome. I'll have to figure that out. No, I don't need help. I have to figure out where we're going to mount it. It's fairly heavy. May mount it on the front up top or to right at the windshield level. I haven't decided yet. Up top will be better because that way I can point it down if I'm looking for something on the ground. Since the golf cart is a 48 volt system, and this is a 12 volt system, I did get an inverter. So I'm going to have to look through the wires and figure out what I'm doing. I also got a fuse block. Now this one has a connector and a switch. And all the, like it's got the 12 volt switched. So you put it there and then it throws over the relay to make it take the full 20 amps or 10 amps or 10 amps or whatever it is. So we'll see how that works. So I did get a fuse block because you never put anything electrical in a car or a vehicle of any kind without fusing it. So real simple. Negative, negative, positives. All your positives outside. Nice standard automotive fuse. I also got a box I cut up. This is a 48 to 12 volt inverter or transformer. It will do 240 watts, which should be sufficient for that, plus other stuff. I'm actually going to put I'm going to put a 12 volt power outlet, which is here. So I can run accessories, because one of the other things I've got for my birthday was a skeet thrower, electric skeet thrower. So it runs off 12 volts. I'm going to hook it up so I can just set it in the back of the golf cart, drive it down there, point it in the direction, plug it in, and go. One of the reasons I wanted to use the inverter and a fuse block, well, fuse block, you always use a fuse block, but use an inverter instead of just direct connecting to a single battery in the 4 battery string, is because that puts all the load on one battery. So if I'm pulling 12 volts off a single battery all the time, plus using it to drive the cart, you're getting a lot of load and cycle time on that single battery. So you either need to keep migrating through the batteries to make sure that you're not overloading one over time or anything along those lines. So I'm going to mount these in the golf cart. I'm going to do a little more looking at this one real quick and figure out where I'm going to mount it. This is fairly straightforward. I did a video on hooking up the smart charger. It is almost the exact same concept. It comes with an attachable source, a nice little through-wall connector that just screws into the side, so that won't be hard. Like I said, that'll just get tied into the fuse block. Easy. Alright, so the other hard part is going to be figuring out how I'm going to get the wiring to this thing from the batteries. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so here's what's going to happen. I've already pulled some wire, so I got the seat out, I got the center console out over there. We'll get to that in a minute. The 12 volts are the yellow and black. The red and black are the 48 volts. So one will get hooked up here, one will get hooked up over, the red will get hooked up over there. These are going to get screwed down to right there. And the fuse block will get dropped. Screwed down like right there. And then this relay will get screwed down right there. I don't know if you can see the relay. This is the relay for the front lights. And then this will tie into the this block over here. Anyway, so that'll work that way. I've already gotten the wire pulled under here. Let me adjust you down to the console. Can't do it. There we go. I'm going to cut a hole right here next to this one, or up here, probably up here, because I don't want to get into that one. Anyway, I got my little saw device. I'm going to cut that hole real quick. That way I can pop that outlet in there. I need to get some electrical tape. Because it has, this isn't a switch system. I mean, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. The way we're pulling power, it's not. So with this switch, if you hook the light up here, the only time the light turns on is when you flip the switch on. If you hook the red one up, as soon as the battery goes on, the light comes on, which means the light would always be on because there's no switch here. So it's not like a car that has a switched accessory. So we're not going to be doing that. And I know that both of the things that I could be putting on here could also overrun the circuit, the little fuse block. But the likelihood that I'll be shooting skeet with an LED light on is low. So there's that. And I'll show you the mounting for the lights here in a minute. Well, let me get to marking and cutting for this. Should put the seat back in, but I'm gonna go around the other side. Get some rough dimensions here. I know this is kind of haphazard, but you know, you guys wouldn't know what to do if I did anything properly. Can you see that? Can you see that? And then get here. All right, I can see that. And then theoretically, thought my blade popped loose. Anyway. Man, if you could only see this, you'd see how much quality was in it. Best cut ever. Anyway, so theoretically, and I may need to trim this a bit. That's fine. That goes through there. Ooh, very tight. Width-wise, it looks okay, but you'll make it a little taller. Probably make it just a tiny bit wider, though. Not very hard plastic. Remember, never trim your hole with your wire still in it. Trim a hole, something. Anyway, take that however you want to take it. All right. Well, it's not coming out. The rest of the wire is down that way. So let me go hook that up. I'm going to pull the wire, the main feed wire from the relay up over this way and put the bot. So give me a minute on that because you're not going to see much. I'm going to pause you for a bit while I do that. All right, I'm going to quickly screw these down because I accidentally pulled the wire through when I was doing that. So, yeah. Don't want to lose that. This thing holds the cup holder in. You can't lose your cup holder. So I'm trying to use some sheet metal screws down here, if I can get in here. Alright, relay's in. That's in. So, I have not moved the wire over yet though. I haven't hooked this up. I need to get some terminals. Blue. Preferably spade terminals. Probably should have done some of this before I got down into it, but you know. And a couple of butt connectors. 4. Always bring extras, at least one. Let's see if I can electrocute myself. And to be clear, the last thing I'm doing is hooking up the actual bolt and batteries to the I found the world's smallest adjustable wrench. Alright. Gonna dig down, wire it up. Alright. So far, brief cap. We've got the power for the lights hooked up. We have the power from the converter hooked up. We do not have the power to and from the batteries hooked up yet. I need to put some extensions on that. I haven't run the wire over there yet, and I have not run the wire for the 12-volt power outlet. So, let us adjourn for a minute while I do some more tinkering. Okay, so I went ahead and screwed in, I switched y'all's perspective a little bit. Screwed this in. This is the 12 volt. I think it's a square. Actually, the difference, this is square fixture and a square plug. And this is a round plug and a round fixture. So hopefully I won't screw them up, but I am a talented individual. I need to run some spare wire because that's not going to be enough. So let me grab a couple of these. Maybe. It's not a blister pack like it used to be. Look with the knife. In my day, the blister pack used to just come right off. So I have some 14 gauge, which is good for 17 amps at 12 volts. I'm going to put a 15 amp breaker in it. Hopefully we won't exceed that. I'll throw a quick set of eye connectors on there, screw those in. Get the distance I need here and go from there. Now I'm not going to leave a ton of a, ow, battery acid. Anyway, not going to leave a ton of a service loop here, simply because that will cause there'll be too much mess for just running around. I don't need it. There's, you know, this is not like something that is difficult to replace the wire on. Like, I could, if this connector goes bad, I couldn't just cut it and splice it again in like 2 minutes. So service loops are great for things like AC, where you have quite a large you have to pull it through conduit and all that kind of stuff, not when you have about a foot of wiring to deal with. So grab a couple of butt connectors. Think about how long that needs to be. Come on. They have solder on the end of these. Makes it difficult. What if it fits in there? Nope. Stupid solder connectors. Just add size. Doesn't do me any good here. I made a little boo-boo there, but I'll fix it in a minute when I do the battery terminals anyhow. I wanted to go under this battery wire right here, and I went over it. But again, I'll just take that connector loose when I'm taking this one loose. Not that big a deal. So that's wired up. All right. Then the last thing is going to be wiring in these positive negatives here. I'll go ahead and butt splice those together with the extra wire. And then we will turn our attention back to the light setup, which hopefully won't take very long either. Yes, I know my wire management is not great here. I need to get some zip ties. I had some. I have some at home, but I don't have any here. All right. All right. Let's turn our attention slightly back to the. Oh, stupid clip popped loose. Is my phone okay? You guys okay? You guys okay? Sorry about that. The clip popped out of the phone holder. That was not okay. Sorry for all the nausea.